Child Care Development Center. So teen pregnancy has always been around. It didn't just come out of anywhere. This is something that does affect teens because they don't have the proper education on how to take care of themselves while being sexually active. Most of these teenagers give up on their life because they think that having children, they can't do anything anymore. Luckily, there's places like the Child Care Development Center at UTRGV that offer the help of taking care of the children while their parents are full-time students. Programs like these are very helpful in continuing the lives of these young parents. Teen pregnancy, like I said before, cannot be avoided, but can be reduced by offering the proper sex education. And if the female does end up still pregnant, they at least have the reassurance that there are programs like these that can help them further their education. Rates of teen pregnancy have been increasing by the year, especially here in Texas. Texas is ranked top 7 with the highest teen birth rates according to the Texas Adoption Center. In 2019, a survey was conducted called the Youth Risk Behavior that found out 42.7% of the teens in Texas have had sexual intercourse at least once. Within that 42.7%, 29.3% are still sexually active. And within that 29.3%, more than half of those do not use condoms. This happens because teens are not properly educated to have safe sex. More than 50% of the schools here in Texas teach about abstinence-only sex education, which basically means to avoid pregnancy, it's better not to have sex. And 25% of the other schools do not teach sex education at all. A lot of these teen pregnancy happen to be minorities, especially here in the Valley. Our home where we are is one of the poorest places in the nation, as well as having the highest rates of teen pregnancy and high school dropouts stated by the New York Times. According to the Texas Adoption Center, 34.4% of the teens pregnant are Hispanic that are near the Mexican border. African Americans take up 26.7% and 14.6% are white people. These statistics just prove more to the point that schools are not doing their part on teaching kids how to be safe, especially down here in the Valley. These kids that do end up pregnant have the dream of continuing their education that they wanted, and also their parents. But as here in the Valley, these teenagers just see that getting pregnant at a young age and they think it's normal because their relatives also went through it, so they think it's normal, but it's not. It keeps these kids from furthering their education. These things can, of course, like I said before, cannot be avoided. It is not something that can just stop happening. There will always be teens that get pregnant, but we can bring down the number. We must also teach the kids that even though they're pregnant, should not mean they should stop doing what they want, especially regarding their education, because there's programs like the UTRGV has, which is the Child Care Development Center. This center is like a daycare without paying such expensive fees. They have a grant called Campus, which is given to students who are full-time students as well as Pell eligible students. There are also some requirements from the parents as well, is that to attend 2 parent meetings per semester, as well as 7 hours of mandatory volunteering. This center is open from Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. They offer breakfast, lunch, and an afternoon snack. They also have the infant and toddler curriculum where they teach them new concepts and skills in early literacy, math, and science. This also should not be a mindset that it's okay to get pregnant because they can help you. No, the point is that if you need the extra hand, they are willing to help, which other universities may not have. With that being said, in Texas, there should be an investment in teaching students how to practice safe sex, and even though that cannot be avoided, implementing the type of center within high schools and universities is also good because it allows teens to continue their education while just being another statistic of teen pregnancies and high school dropouts in the Valley. According to the study, international places like the Netherlands have low pregnancy rates because By the age of 4 and older, they start receiving age appropriate sex education, and they teach how to respect your own bodies, and their first lesson is always about consent. But they do cover everything from contraceptives to STIs, and this is a smart way to educate kids. Teen pregnancy is going to happen, but there are many things to avoid it. If it can't be avoided, then there should always be support to those teens who do not know what to do. Educating kids is always helpful. Having centers like the one in UTRGV is something that should be provided to teens in order for them to see that they have support systems that can help them and not give up on their future, on what they want to do. Education is very important. It's the way we can move forward and have a good life that we want, as well as showing that nothing can stop you from doing what you want.